Welcome back to JA Global Marketplace Session 3. For today's activity, you are going to once again need the table tents and the student workbooks and the fun food franchise menus. This activity is really going to challenge the students to think about franchises in different countries and the importance of culture in a variety of countries. So what you're going to do to start off with is again talk to the students a little bit about trade and remind them of the importance of the imports and the exports. There's a little icebreaker activity that you can do about guessing the home country of various items. Often we in America think a lot of things are Americanized when really some of our key items have come from other countries. So this challenges the students to think about, where did Adidas shoes come from? Well, they came from Germany, Lipton tea from Great Britain, etc. So that's kind of a fun icebreaker activity to get the students to think about where some of these common items have actually originated from. Then you're going to transition into a conversation about the importance of culture. And it's always great to first connect with the students the importance of our American culture. So you'll notice that there are some great prompting questions and some great ideas about how to talk about our culture. What are some of our key landmarks, religion, holidays, and government structures that are important? Get the students to think about it. They can even generate a web on the board if that would get their attention and get them excited as well. But the great thing is to get them thinking about how important those American cultures are to us here in America. From there, you want to transition into getting them to think about how important other countries' cultures are to them. And oftentimes, in order to be successful in business, we need to consider and respect the culture of another country in order to be successful. And that's what they're going to get to do today. The students are going to split up into small groups, and each group is going to be a delegation starting a franchise in another country. So we know that it's twofold. First, they need to learn about the culture of that country, and secondly, they need to determine what items they're going to adapt in order for this to be successful. Once you split the students into small groups, what you're going to notice is that there are 3 countries, but 2 each of the countries. So there are 2 Japans, 2 Russias, and 2 Indias. The first task for the students is to read the variety of culture ideas on the front of their menu card. You're going to notice that it corresponds with their workbook pages on page 6 and 7. So there is a title that's called How to Do Business with bullet point information, and over on their workbook there's also a title called How to Do Business with a couple questions. It's really important to highlight those connections with the students so that they're not using the whole page to try to answer that first question. It will help expedite the process of this activity. So basically, these questions lead them through these bullet points. Now, depending upon the time that you have in your classroom, you can have each of the students write down the answers to these questions in their workbooks. Or, if you want to, you can help save time by having them underline or circle the answers found right on their sheets. That's totally up to you and how you want your students to work together. Once they work through these questions and learn about their country, the second portion of the task is to have them actually adapt a menu to work with that country. So, for example, you will notice on page 8 of their guidebooks, this is an example of what this franchise menu would look like here in America. How are they going to adapt it? So for example, in India, the cow is sacred, so they don't eat beef in India. So what are they going to do to adapt the hamburger and fries? Maybe they're going to turn it into a tofu burger, or maybe they're going to make it a chicken patty. But the students get the opportunity to make those decisions. Once the students have had the time to work in their small groups, they are then going to come up to the front and share their menus. Again, since there are 2 groups that will have the same country, I like to pull up both groups, have them share, ping pong back and forth, some of the key things they learned about that country's culture, and then I have them share their menu ideas. The great thing about this is many of them are going to be different, and they can kind of see how each of them have similar ideas, but also separate ones as well. One great thing we'd encourage you to do is to go to our Program Resource Center found on the JA website at jasd.org. We have many enhancements for this activity where we show some commercials from a variety of countries, as well as product menu ideas that are actually adapted from other countries. Both of those would be great options for you to show to illustrate this activity before the students begin. Once again, it's always important to spend the last couple minutes doing the summary and review to tie everything back together. Enjoy session 3.